Alright, so maybe I'll stop blowing into my mic. I hope this position's fine, and it's not too quiet. If not, I can increase the volume, and stuff. Anyway, Rogue Monk PTR2s, because Mr. Singa is awesome. If anyone doesn't know who that is, it's Fos. Fosing 10s. Watch me, Fos. Actually, I think it's where's the Kool-Aid is his mage. Yeah, he's a rogue. He pwns. He's like Gannic. Except he's not Gannic, because Gannic pwns harder. Slightly harder. Unless it's in terms of who will actually play with me on their legendary rogue, in which case Fos pwns harder. That aside, there's some actually good games later on. Like, this team doesn't seem like they know what they're doing. There's actually some like rogue Disc Priest and rogue Shadow Priest teams that were queuing that were actually good games. I don't have them all recorded, and they were actually great examples of what I wanted to talk about. But I don't know if they're in here. They might be. I'll do a good job explaining anyway. First thing I wanted to talk about was, if you remember or watched the past couple of videos, there's one about me bitching about Paralysis Nerf. They made it for 4 seconds from the front, 6 seconds from the back, 20-yard range, undispellable. That's just the way the ability works. And I was actually really pissed off about it, because I don't think they should be increasing the benefit for playing bad. Granted, they didn't. They just made it by comparison to playing well. You lost 2 seconds if you did it correctly, and got it the same if you played poorly and didn't get it from behind. So I'm against that change altogether. But it is a necessary nerf, seeing as they added Glyph of Paralysis, which removes all dodge from the target. Now, the second thing I want to complain about is the fact that those glyphs shouldn't actually exist. Even on blind, even on poly, I don't think there's any other ones other than that. But those glyphs, I'm entirely against. I'm all for playing better and not messing up your CC like that. I think it's scatter and trap now for some reason. I'm against those glyphs altogether. I think it should go back to, don't dot this guy because I'm going to CC him, and just having that play back. But given the fact that those probably aren't going away at any given point or anytime soon, I think the nerf was needed, making it 6 seconds if there's going to be a glyph in play. I think that's completely valid. Even though I'm against the way it works, that was a smart exchange to make. Also, I just made a mistake. I trinketed a fear as opposed to nimble brewing it, because even though in my mind blind is a fear, it's not a fear. You can't nimble brew it. You can only trinket it. So that's a mistake, just for anyone. Heads up. If he actually trinkets a fear, you can blind him and he can't nimble brew out of it for a monk. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to talk about was there was like a stealth nerf. I'm not sure if it's intended or not. I don't think it is. But Chi Wave / Zen Sphere / whatever the self heals are seem to have gotten nerfed. And it's actually rather annoying. I just sapped that guy's re-stealth. And it's actually rather annoying. What I mean is, they one of the patches, or very early on in the PTR, they doubled its cooldown and doubled its effectiveness. So you went up 100% healing. You went up, actually it was a 7. You gained 7 seconds on the cooldown on an 8-second cooldown, so it wasn't quite double. And you got twice the healing. I think that's fine. I actually think it's a great change because it's burst healing, and then they removed the chi cost from it. Unfortunately, what it means is people in 2s are bitching because they can't actually kill monks, and that's for one of 2 reasons. They also buffed the thing that gives you health for using your brews, or teas, or whatever it is, healing elixirs, which is very strong. It heals for 15% of your health. Using Tiger's Eye Brew like that, most of the time can, in 2s, can keep you from getting a kill, which I think is a good trade-off. I think if you knowingly get rid of your ability to land a kill for survivability, that's fine. But it also makes you more or less unkillable in 2s against the solo DPS. Now, I know 2s aren't balanced. You shouldn't balance the game around 2s. The point being, people are bitching and Blizzard's listening, and it's a problem. I would much rather... I just bumped my headset. I'm sorry if the volume messed up or if you heard that. The better answer would be, make my shield wall worth using. 20% requires me to get hit for pretty much 80 to 100k, which, I'll be honest, almost never happens. The only few classes that can do it are maybe fire mages, maybe a frostbomb mage that can get it to naturally explode, which takes some setup and a lot of work. And even then, you should probably be playing Cloak of Shadows against a mage. Possibly, other monks can definitely hit over 100k. Ret Pallies maybe. I don't think Pharaoh Druids really can. They just spam 80k or 70k Ravages. Warriors alt damages all off GCD, so you get hit with a 60k Heroic Strike and a 60k Mortal Strike, and it doesn't proc my Shield Wall. The simple point being, it's pretty much garbage. I would take a 50k heal over the off chance my my Dampen Harm actually procs. There have been legitimate games that I have watched. I think I was watching Domino's stream, and they were fighting at KFC, and he popped Dampen Harm when the gates opened. Got trained that game start to finish, went through KFC cooldowns, Recklessness, Avatar, Stampede, everything. Somehow didn't die. Don't ask me how. Biofix like a healing monster, and Krill's got the peels / off healing of the gods. And 45 seconds into that match, while they had their cooldowns up, all 3 charges of his Dampen Harm fell off. It did absolutely nothing. I don't know how I didn't get hit with that Boy Tendrils. So I think the better answer is actually make our shield wall worth a shit. And then I do think the burst healing, at least during offensive cooldowns, is a little bit too high on Chi Wave. But I think there's a way to make that acceptable without nerfing the ability. I'll explain. I think it's the next game. If it's in here, I may have not been recording. One of these games, Fos is pretty much dead against like Rogue, Priest, stuff. And I tell him that my Chi Wave is like, he knows how it works, so it's 20-yard range, so he has to come in close range of the Rogue, which puts him at risk of dying. So what we do is I hold on to my ability for like 5 seconds waiting for his Shadow Step, and I think his Dance so he could cheap shot him. And I Chi Waved the Rogue, he Shadow Step cheap shot him, and so it bounced 4 times almost instantly. I think the better answer, instead of the 20-yard slow animation thing, they could even slow down the animation, would be it only bounces within a 10-yard range. It's a smaller duration, so if you set up, a stun, you coordinate your Rogue to go in, have a stun so he won't take too much damage, and then the off heal goes out, even if the Rogue trinkets, it will be like enough to keep him alive, because that would be the use of the off heal. As opposed to the direct nerf, just to its healing, because, there's not really much damage changing abilities that are going on. People are really only gaining damage. Warriors kind of lose. Holy shit! Goddamn stream just scared the fuck out of me. I thought I had it muted, and it just like unmuted itself, because Twitch is really weird like that, and it scared the crap out of me. I think the coordinated me with Fos, having him come in for the Chi Wave was actually really cool, and I'm all for that working. Even if I was playing a DK into a Monk. If it's that versus just the direct nerf of... It's actually a nerf from live, which is really scary, because that's one of the few things keeping us alive. I'm all for it. I think that's a great way to play, is if you set up the stun, you set up the off heal, it works great. So reducing the range increases the skill cap of it. Whereas, like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It got stealth nerfed, and I'm not sure if it was intended, because I didn't see any like real patch notes on it. And it's a straight nerf from live, which is obviously a problem, because monks just flop on live, and there's not much given other than the chi cost removed to keep us alive. I think that's one of the key abilities that's actually making us viable. There's a lot of them, but that I just feel like is unintended and not necessary, or if it is intended, they're morons. I can't think of any other nerfs. I think I have one more clip. Do I have 2 more clips? 1, 2, 1. Last one. Hunter, Priest. Oh yeah. This game's really silly, actually. This is actually just pointing out the epitome of stupid. This is why Healing Brews, like, I would rather have a shield wall, because having this is stupid. But I'm saying this should stay until I get a real shield wall, because fuck you guys. I actually, like, Fos has a full recoup up, so he's just casually hanging out, and I'm choosing not to die, because I don't want to, because I'm a monk, and I get to do that. I just sort of use everything on cooldown, and rotate through none of my defensive cooldowns. Granted, he didn't exactly pop a shit ton of cooldowns in my face, but point being, I'm stalling, blah 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 blah, live lording, because I'm a monk, and I can do that, until Fos has full health from sitting in stealth. I get that, being the fear, out of the way, so now he doesn't have a fear, I'm on DR, and there's the knockoff of the gods. It's actually really well timed. Fos had just opened, and I can come in and we can get the kill. That is stupid, but it shouldn't go away until I get a real fucking shield wall. because it's the only thing that keeps me alive. Because if you put a third person into this that stuns me and shit, I'm dead. Anyway, sorry they sound a little bit more bitchy than normal, but they're just taking this class in a non-fun way. Anyway, thanks for watching.